Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 3, and today we're taking a look at the 1996 Ferrari F50 GT. Now this is a racing derivative of the standard F50, and it was intended to be used in the BPR Global GT series to race against the likes of the McLaren F1 and the Porsche 911 GT1. However, after the series folded, no more were produced, meaning only 3 of these were ever built in the single year of 1996 and sold to the public. So an incredibly rare Ferrari. And yeah, even though I've never been a massive fan of the standard F50, I am a big fan of this. And that's not because the looks of this car have got any better, because they haven't, but it's just generally in terms of engineering and what this car can actually do in terms of general speed, acceleration and handling. And a big part of that is obviously down to the engine, which we'll open up now. So yeah, it's the same 4.7 litre V12 engine in the ordinary F50, but this time it has 750 horsepower and 383 pounds-feet of torque, which is a huge amount of horsepower. And the fact it only weighs 2,002 pounds means that it's not got all that much weight to lug around either. So yeah, all that power, not that much weight, and the fact it's also got extra aerodynamic tweaks like the big rear spoiler, the rear diffuser, and the fact that it's got a large front splitter at the front, as well as the intakes at the top for the engine, mean that it's a far more aerodynamic vehicle than the previous one, so it has far better downforce, so therefore handling wise it's a lot better than the standard F50 as well. Just to give you a kind of sense of how much more powerful this car is compared to the standard F50, this has 237 horsepower more, 36 pounds-feet of torque more, and it weighs 974 pounds less. So yeah, massive difference in terms of power and weight. And to see what those differences can do to the car in terms of drivability, we're going to take it out there and see what it can do. So see you when we get there. Right, let's see what this Ferrari can do. So not only is it got more power, less weight, better handling than the standard Ferrari F50, also got a much better sounding engine, as you can see, resting nearly 11,000 RPM, which is about 2,000 more than the standard F50. And yeah, just in terms of drivability, it's just an absolute joy to drive. It's a little bit on the hairy side because it is still only rear wheel drive, but that's only when you really push it. In general, it is just a car that just sticks to the road and really does just hanging on there thanks to the aerodynamics. And it's easily the most powerful Ferrari at that time. It's even faster than the Le Mans car from the time around the Ferrari test track, so that just puts into perspective how quick this car really is and still is, quite frankly, because it puts other cars from Ferrari to shame. And I know this is a track orientated car, so it's really got none of the creature comforts, and I'm not even sure if it's road legal, but in terms of other Ferraris that are modern, like the F12 TDF, it makes them look like a complete slouch, quite frankly. And yeah, that's proven by the acceleration times. 0 to 16, 2.9 seconds, 0 to 106.7, and despite the fact it has got more downforce, it can go into a top speed of 226 miles an hour, which is hugely impressive. And just again to put that in perspective against the standard F50, which can do 0 to 16, 3.715 seconds, so it's almost a second slower than this car. 0 to 108.5 seconds, so yeah, it's near enough 2 seconds slower than this car, and that standard F50 can do 203 miles an hour, so it's about 23 miles an hour slower on the top end. So yeah, this is a far better car than that standard F50, and it actually makes me like the F50 in general, because I've never liked the standard one all that much. I thought it was a bit of a slouch, certainly didn't do what Ferrari wanted it to do, and yeah, this is far more of a car that I'd quite frankly expect from Ferrari, in terms of being ludicrously quick, and a car that won't take any prisoners, quite frankly, because yeah, like I said, it is quite hairy. So yeah, another great car in the Mountain Dew car pack. Highly recommend getting that car pack because it is quite varied, and yeah, Future's a great car like this, so yeah, highly recommend getting it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.